Round 27 in the Premier League gave us a lot of exciting moments. And from a refereeing point of view, there were some decisions, to discuss that had to do with VAR as well. As usual, we always discuss, the best and most contentious decisions involving VAR. And this time we had, two interesting decisions that caught the eye. And starting with you, Victor, and this one came in the North London derby that Arsenal won. But this decision was very much controversial. Referee Peter Banks decided to disallow what would have been Kolomuani's equalizing goal while the score was 2-1 against Arsenal. The reason was that Kolomuani supposedly pushed Gabriel. What was your thought on that decision, right or not?
Extremely soft. Look, we've already had 2 or 3 instances this season where there were pushes on the defenders and the goal stood. And those were much more blatant pushes. For instance, a few months ago, if you remember, Lenny Yoro and Calvin Bassey. Properly 2 hands in the back, a forceful shove. I'm not saying Kolomwani didn't touch Gabriel. He definitely did. But this was, compared to Yoro and Bassey, this was a caress. It wasn't a push. Also, it's kind of disgraceful that Gabriel falls as if he gets a push and he weighs 35 kilos soaking wet. He made an absolute meal of it. I think, long story short, taken in isolation, I suppose it's the correct decision to chalk off the goal, although not 100%. But given previous calls, this one should absolutely have stood. I would say wrong decision for this.
Fair point. Max, your take on that?
I mean, for the Gabriel himself, every single corner for Arsenal, he's doing much worse things. And also, I mean, the ref himself, he did fine in that decision, not in terms of the foul, but he did let the player to score, and then he only whistles after the goal in the net. So if it's not that big of a push, VR can call him and he will return that, but VR didn't respond, and it ended up in foul. So, I mean, obviously it's a wrong decision for me because, as Victor already mentioned, we've seen a lot of moments like that and it was stood, so why wouldn't it be the same way this time? So I feel like it's a wrong decision.
Yeah, I mean, I also felt that was a wrong decision, even though maybe I wasn't complaining too much, but like I saw that decision and I'm like, why is this goal being cancelled? But yeah, I mean, Gabriel made the most out of it, flying like, he was a superhero in the box and stuff like that. So I think it was Gabriel's reaction mostly that made the referee take that decision. If Gabriel did not fall like that, that goal stands anytime, any day. But yeah, it was the wrong decision anyways. Nothing changes that, to be fair. But anyways, moving on to the second decision of the round. Alexis McAllister, oh my God, this goal. Alexis McAllister scored twice for Liverpool against Forest, but the first goal is, the one we're talking about. It was disallowed because of a handball offense after Ola Aina tried to clear the ball and it supposedly struck the Argentine. Victor, what do you think about this goal?
I'm not saying the ball didn't strike the arm, but it was very much like tucked in and next to his rib cage. Okay? The rules say that if the ball goes into the net of the arm, the goal needs to be ruled out. However, in a situation like this, what in blue hell is the player supposed to do? Not challenge, not try to block that clearance, not try to go for the ball. I don't have a problem with the goal being ruled out. I have a problem with the rule itself. The ball strikes an arm that's not far from the body. It's not in an unnatural position. The player is not trying to make his body bigger. Of course, ball ricochets differently off of different body parts, but this rule is a bit daft if you ask me. If there's no intention to play the ball with the arm or with the hand, if the arm is tucked in, the ball strikes it and goes in. It's just the difference between good luck and bad luck for the defending team. Just like how Aina's clearance could have hit McAllister a few centimeters to the side in the ribs instead of the arm and still gone in. So correct decision or not, I say yes, correct, because of the current state of the rule. But the rule itself is stupid.
Nice way to put it. Max, your take on that one?
I mean, obviously, by the rule book, he did hit his elbow and then came to the net. But actually, in the rules, there is the part that if you, like, in the same situation, if the ball after hitting elbow of McAllister came to the other different Liverpool player and he scored, it wouldn't be cancelled. So this
Yeah.
is kind of shaky moment in the rules, because what's the difference? I mean, for this particular situation, yeah, it's a right decision, but it definitely needs an adjustment in rules.
Yeah, exactly. This is one of those moments where I feel like the rules, for me, the rules in football were created to guide the game, but I feel like there should be discretion. Referees should know when to apply some exceptions, in quotes, on a case by case basis. I feel like the rules were just made to guide the game, because in this scenario, like, was he supposed to cut off his arm, or what was he supposed to
Yeah.
do about it? So going by the rules, yes, it was the right call, but going by the situation, going by that sequence of play, I would say it was the wrong one. So
Yeah, it's not in the spirit of the game. Like, what was supposed to happen there? If there's zero intent to make your body bigger, don't get me wrong. Like, Liverpool would have deserved to lose that game. I'm not saying that, it should have stood because Liverpool deserved it or anything. No, none of that. But the fact that the rule itself is so blanket rule to cover every possible instance, just like you said, this should be a guidance. It shouldn't be something like, okay, we apply this regardless of what the hell happens.
yeah, fair point. Yeah. And anyways, I think those were the most exciting decisions, or most controversial decisions rather, from round 27. We're now asking our viewers to join the conversation and what they think. Should Kolomani's goal have been allowed to stand? And what do you make of the decision to cancel McAllister's first goal, against Nottingham Forest? Tell us what you think about them, and we'll be waiting to respond in the comment section.